Honor killing is a grim issue that has plagued the entire nation even in modern times. The freedom of choice in one's marriage is dictated by whims and fancies of a protocol defined by a particular caste. If you're stepping outside the boundaries defined in the protocol, you're literally asking for your head to be cut off. While Sarat was a grim representation of the pitch dark underbelly of the caste system with its flailing arms trying to dole out atrocities on the couple, Phere is a loopy comic spoof on honor killing that manages to hold your interest in the first half, not so much in the second half though. But before I put on the critique hat and unveil my analysis of the movie, may I request you to follow the channel, press the bell icon for instant notification, and spread the word around to enable it to grow leaps and bounds. Your little contribution in adhering to the request will go a long way in empowering me to continue to add life to the content I present. The film stars Vikrant Messi and Kriti Kharbanda in lead roles and is directed by Devanshu Singh. The film chronicles the lives of college sweethearts Sanjay Lal Singh and Aditi Karwasara that is filled with misadventures and the madness of quietly going against their respective families to tie the knot. While Sanjay belongs to a small town in Bihar, Aditi comes from Jaipur. Sanjay could easily be passed off as someone having emerged from the village-like upbringing, although sometimes slightly diluted, while Aditi, despite her gumption to keep within the skin of her character, rises above her role to scream a metro dweller in a follow-through. They stay together in an apartment that reeks of affluence thanks to the well-paying job, with their families being kept completely in the dark about their brazenness to dissolve the pride of their respective social values, or simply put, faith that cannot be questioned. Their attempt to live off in the lap of somewhat liberal Delhi, away from unrestricted, maddening social prejudice, is a stark resemblance to how each one of us felt when India gained independence in 1947. Their happiness keeps them company until they decide to get married one day, and the ill-begotten catastrophe that follows afterwards forms the crux of the story. And that's where probably all the earnest groundwork the screenplay initially manages to lay rudely deflects the profound endeavor to cut the core of the story in half. The one half represents mostly the sincere version of the misshapen values, and the other half represents the misfortunes of sarcasm to lighten the load of social message. Both of these distinct characteristics of the movie seem to fall away from each other, failing to sound the chimes of entertainment. They break off from each other without wasting a minute, like we as kids used to solemnly declare our split over harmless, innocent confrontation. When the subject of honor killing was slipped into the screenplay, although a bit sloppily, I assumed I would be promised worthy content no matter what. Maybe it is just me, but the story catches my fancy that propagates a tale about controversial topics. But Phere fell face first, trying to make sense, and that was before it fought pretty well. Vikrant Messi projects similar innocence that abides by him in most of his characters once again. It wasn't as if he had to lay a lot of groundwork to form a manifestation of his emotional constitution. It was right there, conveniently served on the platter, and just like that, he rarely falters from his screen persona. From beginning to end, we stand witness to his firm desire to keep us hooked to the couch. It was there when he tries to spin a yarn to keep from doling out a secret to his family, or when he casually manufactures astonishing ideas from the most improbable situations. In doing so, he reflects a certain aura that makes us trust his actions. Kriti Kharbanda hasn't done anything in this movie that she hasn't done before. She's confident and exudes believability up to a certain point, probably around the situations that don't test her vigor. Then we see profound drag in her actions when she tries to convince the audience that she has a good handle on the situation. Her character constantly walks away from reality in the sense that it portrays the role of a woman who has a meaty presence at the office and determination abounds, yet the same woman cannot exert her decisions independently. With a family who is a bunch of gun-toting and firm believers in the tradition of pouring petrol and striking a match. One simply asks, from where does she get all the confidence that takes cover beneath her fragile exterior in situations adverse to marriage should the secret get leaked, but makes a quick leap out of nowhere when she assumes the identity of an emphatic college senior or a woman hard at work at the office. Jameel Khan and Gauhar Khan lend an inspiring supporting cast. Especially Gauhar shows a range for crafting action that is fabulously done. There is a constant struggle to prevent it from becoming cringy though. The movie starts off with the promise of a sensible comedy drama, but there comes a point when I wondered if I'm watching one of Priyadarshan's movies, punching through the waves of confusion and madness. The core message it wants to deliver gets lost somewhere. The climax was the most disappointing of all. Given the background of the families, no thought of the makers culminated in the fact that the bigger question of the safety abounds now that they were married. Despite its glaring flaws, I would rate the movie 2.5 on 5. Thank you very much.